Hundreds of people, as we know, were caught up in the attack on London Bridge and then in Borough Market. One of them was Holly Jones, a BBC journalist who was on the bridge and saw the van driving towards her. She gave evidence to the inquest about her experience and joins me here. Thank you so much for coming in. Can I ask, if it's not too painful for you, what is your overriding memory of that night?
Yeah, well, obviously thinking about it's a little bit painful, but we're 2 years down the line now. I've had counselling and things like that, but it's just a chaotic night. It's terrifying, you know, but now that we've had the inquest, it's a lot easier to kind of process, because for 2 years now, I wasn't sure what had happened that night, because it was so chaotic, and obviously there's sound and there's images from that night that will never leave me. However, now it's a little bit easier to kind of make sense of it all.
Is it fair to say it really was a narrow escape for you because of where you were standing?
Yeah, completely. I mean, I'm so lucky, you know, and it was one of those heart-stopping moments where, you know, you kind of just think, is this it? But something in the back of my mind told me to get out of the way. So all that kind of moment is a bit of a blur to me. So yeah, I'm just incredibly lucky.
And how difficult was it for you giving evidence at the inquest?
Yeah, it was actually a lot harder than I was anticipating, because I kind of thought, oh, I'm fine with this. But then when I was actually giving evidence, I got a lot more emotional than I was expecting to be. And it was almost like 2 years of kind of hurt and frustration and anger was all kind of coming out. So it was a lot harder than I was anticipating. However, I had so much kind of support in that room from other survivors and victims' families, so it made it a whole lot easier, but it was definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
And talking to other people as well who were giving evidence there, for you and for them, with the inquest, did there feel any sense of closure or closer to it?
Definitely, it's sort of mixed emotions. I mean, the main thing is a relief that we now know what happened. Victims' families have been waiting 2 years to kind of find out, and that's a long time. And as I say, myself, in my head, you kind of play things over and then you're not sure whether to believe yourself or not. So there's a sense of closure in the fact that we know what happened, we know the police did everything they could, and I'm looking forward to moving on. However, it is something that will never leave me.
And you talk about moving on there, and we've heard, as you say, bravery of officers, bravery of the public as well. And you've stayed in touch with some of the other survivors, which I believe has helped you.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, one of the ladies, a French lady, Christine Delcroix, she was injured by the van, and her partner, Javier Thomas, he was sadly killed. So she was the person that I immediately helped that night, so I kind of stuck with her. She reached out to me about a month after the attacks, and I was terrified of going to meet her. I didn't want to anyway. I went to Paris and met her while she was in hospital, still in a wheelchair, and it was the best thing ever. It was like this huge sense of relief, and this weight had been lifted, and it was good for her also. And we've now formed a really close relationship. We still speak to this day. So
a friendship out of shared experience.
Exactly.
Okay, well, Holly, we wish you all the best, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.